Hello and welcome to Wisdom Forge. How stress is secretly making you dumber, science explains. The brain under siege, stress's first attack on your mind. When stress floods your system, your brain immediately shifts into survival mode, prioritizing quick reactions over deep thinking. This biological response, meant to protect you from danger, actually shuts down the parts of your brain responsible for higher intelligence. Your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for complex problem solving, creativity, and logical reasoning, essentially goes offline while your more primitive brain regions take over. This explains why you can't think clearly during stressful moments and why important decisions made under pressure often turn out poorly. The cognitive toll isn't just temporary. Chronic stress leads to lasting changes in how your brain functions. Memory meltdown: how stress erases what you know. Your memory systems suffer dramatically under stress. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, interferes with the hippocampus, your brain's memory center, making it harder to form new memories or recall existing ones. This creates frustrating moments where you forget important information during tests or presentations. Long-term stress actually shrinks the hippocampus, leading to persistent memory problems that don't resolve when the stress ends. Many people mistake this stress-induced forgetfulness for early signs of dementia when it's actually their brain's response to being constantly flooded with stress chemicals that disrupt normal memory processes. The creativity killer: why stress stifles innovation. Creative thinking requires making unexpected connections between ideas, a process that gets shut down by stress hormones. When you're stressed, your brain narrows its focus to immediate threats, eliminating the mental space needed for innovative thinking. This explains why people under constant pressure struggle to generate new ideas or solutions. Even simple creative tasks become challenging as stress reinforces rigid thinking patterns. The most groundbreaking ideas typically emerge in relaxed states when the brain has the freedom to explore possibilities without stress-induced limitations. Many artists and inventors intentionally create low-stress environments to protect their creative capacities. Decision fatigue: stress's toll on your judgment. Chronic stress wears down your ability to make good decisions by exhausting your mental resources. Each stressful decision depletes your cognitive reserves, leading to poorer choices as the day progresses. This explains why people under constant stress often make impulsive decisions they later regret. Stress also biases your brain toward short-term rewards over long-term benefits, a pattern that can sabotage personal and professional success. The neurological changes caused by prolonged stress make it increasingly difficult to weigh options carefully or consider consequences, trapping you in a cycle of poor choices that create more stress. Learning under fire: why stress blocks new skills. Acquiring new knowledge requires neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new connections. Stress hormones directly inhibit this process, making learning significantly harder. When you're stressed, your brain resists rewiring itself for new information because it's focused on immediate survival. This explains why students under chronic stress struggle academically despite their efforts. The same material that would be manageable in a relaxed state becomes overwhelmingly difficult when stress hormones are high. Even simple skills take longer to master when learned under stressful conditions, as the brain prioritizes remembering threats over retaining new information. Brain fog: the mental haze of chronic stress. That feeling of mental cloudiness and confusion isn't just in your head, it's literally happening in your head. Chronic stress disrupts the delicate balance of neurotransmitters needed for clear thinking, creating persistent brain fog. Your thoughts become sluggish, concentration becomes difficult, and mental tasks that were once easy now require tremendous effort. This isn't simply fatigue but actual changes in how your neurons communicate under the influence of stress hormones. Many people don't realize their fuzzy thinking is stress-related and blame themselves for cognitive failures that are actually biological responses to prolonged stress. The intelligent stress paradox: smart people get hit harder. Ironically, individuals with higher IQs often experience more severe cognitive declines from stress. Their complex neural networks are more vulnerable to stress-induced disruptions, meaning the smarter you are, the more you have to lose from chronic stress. Highly intelligent people frequently rely on cognitive strategies to manage challenges, and when stress impairs these abilities, they feel the loss more acutely. This creates a cruel paradox where the mental capacities that normally help people succeed become compromised precisely when they're needed most to handle stressful situations. Stress and aging: how pressure prematurely ages your brain. Chronic stress accelerates brain aging by several measurable biological markers. Telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that indicate cellular age, shorten faster under stress. Brain scans show stressed individuals have structural changes typically seen in much older adults. These changes correlate with declines in processing speed, working memory, and other cognitive functions. Essentially, prolonged stress makes your brain older than your chronological age, stealing years of peak mental performance. The good news is that reducing stress can slow or even partially reverse some of this accelerated aging. The focus trap: why stress makes concentration impossible. Your ability to concentrate suffers dramatically under stress because your brain keeps diverting attention to potential threats. This evolutionary adaptation helped our ancestors survive but now creates constant distraction in modern life. Even minor stresses fracture your attention, making sustained focus on important tasks nearly impossible. The more you try to force concentration while stressed, the more your brain resists, creating frustration that compounds the problem. Many people mistake this stress-induced attention deficit for personal failure when it's actually a normal neurological response to perceived danger. Emotional intelligence: the hidden casualty of stress. Stress doesn't just impact cognitive intelligence, it also erodes emotional intelligence. When stressed, you become less able to read others' emotions, regulate your own feelings, or navigate social situations effectively. This explains why people under constant pressure often damage important relationships without meaning to. Your brain's emotional centers become overwhelmed by stress signals, leaving fewer resources for empathy or social nuance. As emotional intelligence declines, personal and professional relationships suffer, creating additional stressors that further impair cognitive function in a vicious cycle. Sleep's role: how stress steals your smartest hours. Stress disrupts sleep in multiple ways that impact intelligence. It reduces deep sleep, when memory consolidation occurs, and REM sleep, when creative connections form. Even if you sleep the same number of hours, stress makes that sleep less restorative for your brain. This creates a double whammy: stress directly impairs cognition while also robbing you of the sleep needed to repair those effects. Many people don't realize their daytime cognitive struggles originate from stress-induced sleep disturbances that have become their new normal. Nutritional sabotage: stress's hidden attack on brain food. Stress alters your eating habits in ways that further damage cognitive function. It increases cravings for sugary, fatty foods while decreasing absorption of key nutrients your brain needs. Essential fatty acids, B vitamins, and antioxidants, all crucial for optimal brain performance, become depleted faster under stress. At the same time, stress increases your brain's need for these nutrients. This creates a nutritional deficit that exacerbates stress-related cognitive declines. Even with a healthy diet, stress can prevent your brain from getting what it needs to function at its best. The confidence crisis: how stress undermines your mental abilities. Stress creates a cruel psychological trap where you lose confidence in your intelligence precisely when you need it most. As cognitive abilities fluctuate under stress, you start doubting your fundamental competence. This self-doubt then creates additional stress that further impairs performance. Many intelligent people begin avoiding challenges because they can't trust their stressed minds to function reliably. The reality isn't that you've become less intelligent, your brain is simply operating under biological constraints that temporarily limit its full potential until stress levels decrease. Stress-induced learning disabilities, temporary but real. Prolonged stress can create temporary learning disabilities that mimic clinical conditions. Working memory deficits, processing speed reductions, and reading comprehension problems all emerge under chronic stress. These aren't permanent deficits but can be severe enough to significantly impact academic or professional performance. Many adults suddenly struggling at work don't realize their cognitive changes are stress-induced rather than signs of declining intelligence. When stress decreases, these disabilities typically resolve as brain function normalizes. The multitasking myth: why stress makes it dangerous. Multitasking under stress creates particularly severe cognitive impairments. Stress already divides your mental resources, and attempting to juggle multiple tasks compounds the damage. Errors increase dramatically while productivity plummets. What feels like efficient multitasking during stress is actually your brain rapidly switching between half-completed tasks, with neither getting full attention. The quality of all work suffers, yet stressed individuals often feel compelled to multitask even more, creating a downward spiral of cognitive performance. Stress and wisdom: losing your big picture perspective. Higher order thinking, the ability to see situations holistically and make nuanced judgments, suffers profoundly under stress. You become trapped in narrow, black and white thinking patterns that miss subtlety and context. This explains why stressed individuals often make overly simplistic assessments of complex situations. Wisdom requires the very cognitive capacities that stress shuts down, meaning even normally wise people can make foolish decisions when under prolonged pressure. The ability to weigh multiple perspectives and anticipate long-term consequences becomes particularly impaired. The recovery process: bringing your brain back online. The good news is that much stress-related cognitive decline is reversible. When stress decreases, your brain gradually returns to normal functioning, though the process takes time. Strategic recovery, including proper sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mindfulness, can accelerate this process. Many people are surprised by how much sharper they feel after an extended low-stress period as their brain chemistry rebalances and neural pathways repair. This recovery isn't instant but demonstrates that stress hasn't permanently damaged your intellectual capacity. Building stress-resistant intelligence. Certain cognitive skills prove more resilient to stress than others. Fluid intelligence, problem-solving with novel information, suffers more than crystallized intelligence, accumulated knowledge. You can strengthen your stress-resistant capacities through targeted training that builds cognitive flexibility and emotional regulation. Developing these skills creates a buffer that helps maintain higher functioning even during stressful periods. The goal isn't to eliminate all stress but to build mental capacities that can withstand inevitable pressures without catastrophic cognitive declines. When to seek help: recognizing serious cognitive decline. While some stress-related cognitive changes are normal, severe or persistent declines may indicate deeper issues. Difficulty with familiar tasks, getting lost in known places, or failing to recognize close friends or family warrant professional evaluation. Most stress-induced cognitive problems fluctuate. They're bad during high stress but improve during relaxation. Consistent decline regardless of stress levels suggests possible neurological concerns that should be assessed by a medical professional rather than assumed to be stress-related. The intelligent approach to stress management. Protecting your intelligence from stress requires proactive strategies. Regular exercise, quality sleep, mindfulness practices, and proper nutrition all help buffer your brain against stress's cognitive effects. Equally important is recognizing when stress is impairing your thinking enough to warrant stepping back from important decisions. The most intelligent approach to stress is acknowledging its very real impacts on your mind and creating systems to minimize those effects before they compromise your cognitive abilities when you need them most. Thank you, and let's stay connected. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. If you found this video valuable, imagine what you'll learn next. Subscribe to Wisdom Forge and hit the bell icon so you never miss more thought-provoking content, practical wisdom for everyday life, the tools to unlock your full potential. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway or what topics you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning.